In this video, we delve into the recent decision by former President Trump to dismantle the U.S. Climate Office, deemed unnecessary by his administration. We'll explore the far-reaching implications of this move, including the removal of vital climate information from federal websites and the directive issued to the USDA. Join us as we examine significant reversals in climate policies, controversial executive orders, and the impact of budget cuts on environmental agencies, all while highlighting the appointment of leaders from the fossil fuel industry and the aggressive push for fossil fuel development. We'll also touch on the global and domestic criticism that has surfaced in response to these actions. 1. Removal of climate information from federal websites. In the aftermath of the U.S. Climate Office closure, federal agencies have begun the process of erasing climate science data from their websites. This action has led to significant concerns regarding the accessibility of critical climate information. The removal of such data could potentially limit the ability of researchers, policymakers, and the public to make informed decisions about environmental issues. Many fear that this step restricts transparency and undermines public trust in federal institutions. The loss of accessible online climate data is perceived by critics as a step backward in the effort to address environmental challenges effectively. 2. Directive to the USDA. The U.S. Department of Agriculture, USDA, has received directives to remove references to the climate crisis from its online resources, including the Forest Service website. This directive is part of a broader trend towards minimizing federal acknowledgement of climate change. The USDA's decision to comply with these instructions has sparked concerns among environmentalists and scientists, who argue that ignoring the climate crisis will not make it disappear. The Forest Service, which manages a vast expanse of public lands, plays a crucial role in climate research and conservation efforts. The directive to remove climate references may impede these efforts, leading to long-term ecological consequences. 3. Reversal of climate policies. On his first day in office, President Trump reversed several key climate policies, marking the beginning of a new era in U.S. environmental policy. Notably, he withdrew the United States from the Paris Climate Agreement, a global accord aimed at reducing greenhouse gas emissions. Additionally, he declared an energy emergency to expedite the development of fossil fuels, prioritizing energy independence over environmental protection. These actions have been met with criticism both domestically and internationally. Critics argue that abandoning climate policies not only undermines global efforts to combat climate change but also jeopardizes the health and well-being of future generations. 4. Executive orders targeting environmental justice. The Trump administration has also issued executive orders aimed at dismantling federal environmental justice programs. Notably, Executive Order 12,898, which addressed environmental justice in minority and low-income populations, has been revoked. This decision has sparked concerns about the potential disproportionate impact on vulnerable communities that are often the most affected by environmental degradation. Environmental justice advocates argue that these communities will bear the brunt of pollution and climate-related challenges without adequate protection. The elimination of such programs may exacerbate existing inequalities and hinder efforts to achieve equitable environmental outcomes. 5. Budget cuts to environmental agencies. Significant budget cuts have been proposed for various environmental agencies, including a dramatic 31% reduction for the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA. These cuts could result in the elimination of more than 50 programs and the loss of approximately 3,200 jobs. The proposed budget reductions have raised concerns among environmentalists and agency employees, who fear that essential services and regulatory functions may be compromised. The EPA plays a critical role in safeguarding public health and the environment, and such cuts could undermine its ability to enforce regulations and monitor environmental quality effectively. 6. Appointment of fossil fuel industry leaders. The Trump administration's appointments of individuals from the fossil fuel industry to key positions have drawn significant attention. For instance, Chris Wright, a fracking executive, has been confirmed as the Energy Secretary. These appointments have been perceived by many as indicative of the administration's strong ties to the fossil fuel industry. Critics argue that such appointments may lead to a bias in policymaking, with a focus on promoting fossil fuels at the expense of renewable energy and environmental protection. This has raised questions about the administration's commitment to addressing climate change and transitioning to a more sustainable energy future. 7. Promotion of fossil fuel development. Under the declared energy emergency, the administration is prioritizing fossil fuel development, potentially sidelining renewable energy initiatives and environmental protections. This approach has stirred controversy among environmentalists and renewable energy advocates who emphasize the importance of transitioning to cleaner energy sources. Prioritizing fossil fuels is seen as a short-term solution that overlooks the long-term consequences of continued carbon emissions. The focus on fossil fuel development may slow the progress of renewable energy industries, which have been gaining momentum and are essential for achieving a sustainable energy future. 8. Rebranding of environmental agencies. Federal agencies are undergoing rebranding efforts to remove references to climate change from their missions and communications. This move aligns with the administration's stance on climate issues and reflects a broader strategy to downplay the significance of climate change. Critics argue that rebranding efforts may obscure the reality of climate challenges and hinder public awareness. By removing climate change references, agencies may become less equipped to address environmental issues effectively, potentially compromising their ability to fulfill their mandates. 9. Global and domestic criticism. The actions taken by the Trump administration have elicited criticism from environmental groups, scientists, and international allies. Many argue that dismantling climate initiatives undermines global efforts to address climate change and protect vulnerable communities. The withdrawal from international agreements and the rollback of domestic policies have raised concerns about the United States' commitment to global climate leadership. Critics emphasize the importance of collaborative efforts to mitigate climate change and advocate for policies that prioritize environmental sustainability and social justice.